Good morning, boys and girls, from Black Powder headquarters and the Bojangles studio high on Sassafras Mountain. CVA presents Real Tree Radio. Welcome to a brand new, unused Saturday morning.
Good morning, boys and girls, from high in the North Georgia mountains and the Bojangles studio. This is O'Neill Outside, welcoming you to a brand new, unused Saturday morning. Yes, indeed, we've got so many things to do today. I hope you'll take the time to join us. O'Neill has plenty of recommendations, a story or two, a question or two, and if you can find time to join us and have some input in the program, you are most welcome. The telephone numbers, should you like to join us around Georgia and the Atlanta area, is 404-872-0750. That's 404-872-0750. We are also airing, of course, on the SB Nation radio network, including the new application of WEEI, the number one outdoor sports station in the country. That's up in the Northeast. The telephone numbers for that, for those nations, those stations, 800 WSB Talk or 800-972-8255. We've got a full lineup of subjects, and I hope you'll join us this morning. This program is brought, where's my little list here? We're brought to you every week by, where's my list? I've got to do this now or I'll get in trouble. Hold on. Well, I can't find it. Tough Shed and CVA and Bojangles and, my goodness, where's my list? I'm supposed to be able to do this. I've only been doing this 27 years. I'm supposed to be a professional at it, but I've just got an awful lot of stuff going on. Okay, we'll get to that. It's 8 minutes after the hour. Make plans to call us this morning. Tell us about your trips that you made in 2018, the trips that you're going to make in 2019, and some of the recommendations that we might get together on that will help someone, that will encourage some fishermen in the neighborhood to take you fishing, and some tips also that you might take your family fishing and hunting. What do you say? It's an outdoor sport that lasts absolutely a lifetime. It's 8.5 minutes after the hour. 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. And when we come back, there'll be more radio for you. I'm obligated, welcome back. I'm obligated, it's a pleasure to tell you who the sponsors are of this program. If there are no sponsors, there will be no show. Television, radio, news, whatever it is. So, the sponsors for the O'Neill Outside radio program in the first quarter of this year are Whitetail Institute, Wild Game Food Plot Seeds, the Hayes Auto Dealerships, Tough Shed, Stripling's General Store in Bogart, Georgia, Works Tools, True Turn Hooks and Roadrunner Lures, the Governor's Gun Club in Kennesaw, Georgia, O'Neill's Gun Oils, Real Lubes and Deck Cleaners, Snellville Heating and Air, Zach Brown Southern Grind Knives, Timbuktu and Fisher's Choice Baits, Bodyplex in Alpharetta and in Jasper, that's where O'Neill works out, and O'Neill's book, which is People and Places Along the Way. It's called O'Neill Outside. The telephone numbers are 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. Now, every week on the television show, we give away a Southern Grind knife from Zach Brown, made right here in Georgia. And we do those way ahead of time, of course, because it's television and we do them months ahead. So the kind people at Zach Brown said, hey, let's give away a knife every week on the radio show. So if you would like to be a candidate for that, if you'd like to leave a question, a comment, an observation at o'neilloutside.com, the Southern Grind guest book banner, the Southern Grind guest book. Leave your comment right there. We will read them on the radio show, which I'm just about to do, and we'll pick a winner. Lo and behold, and then we'll notify you, get your mailing address, And Zach Brown will send you one of his very, very special knives. And these are the Zach Brown Southern Grind knives. Last a lifetime. This is a knife that you will to people. I think it's interesting. Many of the blades that he uses, the source material for the blades for the Southern Grind knives, they're made from old sawmill saws, blades. Super hard and hold an edge and will perform terrifically. Okay, let's look at a couple of these things, and I'll read them, and then we'll give you let's see. All right, here's something. Is that the winner? I am so mixed up today. Okay, here's one. Well, this is from William Page in Covington, Georgia. He says he's tried the gun oils and real lubes that are made from natural bioproducts, green energy products, and he says that they're wonderful. I had to get that one in. From, oh God, I'm so disorganized today. Okay, Carrie Heron from Auburn, Georgia. Hey, O'Neill, I was just wondering, what's your favorite brand of hat? Interesting, isn't it? Because I have an old felt hat that I have, and I wear it because it protects my ears from the sun. He said he wants to know where he can get one. This is not a special hat. I got it I think I bought it at Horsetown. So, and I use it. My grandfather wore a fedora, and I wore that for many, many years and lost it. It blew out of the truck. I'm sorry. 404-872-0750, 800 WSB Talk. From Carrie McDonald in Smort, South Fort Jordan, Utah. I'm sorry, I didn't sleep but about an hour last night. What do you think the future holds for our children in the outdoors regards to the public lands that are available? I think we're going to be in good shape because there's been recent votes here in Georgia and other states in which certain amounts of tax money doesn't go to the general fund. It goes directly to the Department of Natural Resources, state parks, recreation, land management. So there are political issues directing money away from the general politicians, because if they get their hands on it, it's gone. But when it's dedicated directly to the DNR, then we've got a good opportunity to continue on. I would tell you that it's my opinion that in Georgia at least, and in most states, most of the public land, the wildlife areas and so forth, are quite frankly underutilized. Millions of acres. Of course, we all want to belong to a club, but I can tell you there's some good hunting in some of these areas. Let's see what's next. Okay. Oh, here's something from Tim Bagley in Las Vegas, Nevada. He says, I have a Jackal and a Jackal pup. Now, these are Southern Grind brand names, a Jackal and a Jackal pup. And he says he uses food-grade mineral oil on the blades, and is that good? You bet it is. If you can get away from using oil from the ground, crude oil-based lubricants for your knives, guns, reels, and go to green energy like this food-grade mineral oil, then everything will last longer. I know the O'Neill Outside Real Lubes oils, and this is very important for your gun, to clean the gun, to clean your rifle, to clean your shotgun. These oils, the O'Neill Outside oils, last 5 times longer. Number one. Number two, they have no smell. So if you're in the woods, your rifle doesn't smell like the oil from that blue can. And then lastly, then these oils don't have any static attraction. If you clean them up and put them away, it doesn't collect dust. So Bagley's on the right track. Mineral oil is outstanding. Now the winner this week, this is so easy, at 19 after the hour. The winner this week of the knife, the Southern Grind knife, the winner is Jared on the radio pro. Now, all these I just read for you don't win. There's one winner for radio every week, and this one is Jared Yeager. Interesting question. He says he's a huge fan of the show. It's a great way to start. Wait a minute. I got to read it correctly. Oh, wrong winner. The winner is William. I need my glasses. William Sims. He's the winner this week of the knife. His question is, if a deer is limping on a hind leg, what are the chances of the meat being contaminated? Very little. The likelihood is that deer's been hit by a car or truck. It's been hit by a vehicle and he's injured. But I would not think that his limping would have anything to do with his general health. So, go ahead and take him and handle the meat gingerly and cook it for your family. So, we will be in touch with William Sims in Lanett, Alabama. He's the winner on the 19th of January, and I'm sorry I'm so confused today. When you get old and you only sleep an hour, it can kind of foul you up. And we have other Zach Brown questions that we'll read when we return. This is O'Neill. It's 21 after the hour, 404-872-0750 or 800-972-8255. And when we return, more of the questions that you have from the Southern Grind guest book, and put your brain in gear. It's time for the radio prize package, and we've added some items there and makes it truly worthwhile. This is O'Neill. I'll be back. You're listening to the #1 live outdoor-based radio talk show in the world, especially now with WVEEI in Boston, covering the entire northeast of the country. Literally, 1 million people are listening right now. 25 after the hour. Let's get to a couple of calls before we get to the radio prize package. Let's try it. Let's jump in here and try for. Here we go. We'll try for. Who is it in Marietta?
Hey, good morning, O'Neill. This is JP in Marietta.
Hey, JP,
Georgia.
how are you, sir?
Oh man, I'm up early and just doing good, and
good.
Hope you are too, sir.
Glad to hear it.
I got last week. You and I had talked privately on the phone a few months ago, and you had your trip up to Blackhawk up on the Sequoia River in northeast Georgia, Habersham County, and I just turned on last week right when you were talking about some nice fat browns and rainbows you got up there.
Well,
on your trip, your charity event there. Could you? I've got a couple of questions for you. Quick questions. First of all, the amount of water that has been coming through the Sequoia is unbelievable. It's like the Colorado River. And kind of a dumb question as a fisherman for 55 years of my life. Well, how do those trout hold, when that water is just roaring through there, O'Neill?
Well, you have to remember that in the water flow, no matter how beyond a 100-year flood, there are places all along in the stream, behind the rocks, behind the logs, on the bottom, in which the current is just barely moving. What you see on the top of the trout stream is the fast water. The water close to the bottom is not moving all that fast. And their resistance to the water is so slight, they can maintain a position in the water column with ease. We fished up there last Thursday. Thursday was a week ago, 8 days ago, and the stream was perfect. And that was after all the rain that we've been having. And the two fishermen that were there as guests because of their contribution to the Muscular Dystrophy Association via via Bojangles, they caught at least 10 rainbows each over 20 inches.
Wow.
With several in the 24 to 28 inch range.
My goodness,
Now,
what a trip! And my next question: well, what were y'all getting them on, O'Neill? The sequoia, they don't hit on top. Everything we've ever caught them on. My brother, David, has the Honey Pot Lodge down there, down below there, where you were at Blackhawk, and ours is always the sinking nymphs and that kind of thing.
That is
what
correct.
Were y'all using to get those big trout?
The sinking nymphs, they weren't hit on top at all under these water temperatures. Maybe in the summertime they might, under certain, narrow periods of time when there's a hatch going on. But they're all sinking nymphs. But you get, when you think about two guys catching 12 or 15 each, bringing 12 or 15 each to the net. Wonder how many bites they had.
My goodness, and those fish fight like there is no tomorrow.
Oh, yes.
People think, well, because you feed them the high-protein trout food, and they're just like hatchery. Let me tell you, I've fished all over the world, Montana, Alaska, and I've had 8 and 10 pound rainbow coming 3 and 4 feet out of the water
Correct.
on our fly rods when you hook them.
Correct.
And they fight like there's no tomorrow on that little river, and I just love it up there.
Blackhawk.
I'm glad you had a successful trip. And,
very much.
And want to thank you for what a nice thing you did. I have a good friend who's one of his daughter is afflicted with the muscular dystrophy, and what a wonderful thing you did, sir. And really appreciate it, and let's get you up there fishing with us this spring. Okay?
I'd love to do that. I might comment, and then I go to the next caller. It's interesting the amount of monies that a company like Bojangles with generous people can collectively put together. They raised over $500,000 with this deal.
That's fantastic. Thank you, sir. And give me a call. You got my cell number, and we'll get you up there with that. Bring some kids up there with you when you come.
Good idea. Good luck to you, pal.
Good,
See you
soon.
soon.
Thank you, O'Neill.
There
Great
you
talking
go.
to you, sir.
Okay, now let's go to can make this work. Let's go to Alan is calling from Tallahassee, Florida, I believe. Good morning, Alan.
Good morning, O'Neill. How are you this morning?
Lovely. What about yourself? Talk to me.
Real good. Real quick, I want to run something by you.
Okay.
I'm doing a little reminiscing this week, and I was trying to figure out, other than my, dad or granddad, who influenced me into, getting into fishing and enjoying fishing. And if I had a Mount Rushmore, who are those people I would put up there?
Yes.
First and foremost would be Tom Mann.
Oh, really?
You remember the old Tom and Tammy show? Tom and Tammy Outdoors.
Yes, indeed I do.
Well, I used to be crazy in love with Tammy, because she was hotter than asphalt and all this.
Oh, boy. Hey, there were some great, as I recall, and it's been a long time, there were some great dimensions there.
Well, see, my dad and him were friends. My dad met him. My dad used to work for Ma Bell back, in the 60s, which most people, that used to be Southern Bell, which people today know it as AT&T. But my dad did a lot of work down on 231, putting up poles and stringing line back in. And they became friends. Of course, Tom did everything. He was a commercial fisherman, a conservationist, a bait maker.
Yes.
And we used to fish Eufaula quite a bit back in those days. But second on the list would be Orlando Wilson.
Oh, yes.
He was another big influence when I was growing up. Now, these are people outside the family. then third would be yourself. On
I'm
that
flattered.
list. Because we used to listen to you, and if I may be mistaken, y'all used to come on Sunday mornings, right?
Correct.
And back when y'all first went to WSB, right?
Well, we did Friday nights, and then we went to Sundays, and went all over the dial.
Yeah, but I knew that, and then because we listened to you going to the up to Lanier to fish, and then fourth on that mountain would be Bill Dance.
Oh, yes.
Those would be the four outside, my dad or my granddad, not family, that people have influenced me over the years into making me a better fisherman. And I was wondering who along the way, of course, you lost your dad, who influenced you to get into fishing and do what you do today? Who are those people that started you on your way or put you down that road to saying, hey, this is something I may really want to get into?
I would have to say that probably beyond no one beyond the family. Of course, I watched Bill Dance and loved him, and watched Orlando, and was influenced, but I had no idea I would be on television and on radio. So as a little kid, my grandparents, my dad was not an angler or a hunter. So I just sort of took it on my own, really, with my grandparents, my two grandfathers. They always took me fishing.
And where was the first lake y'all went to?
Oh, my goodness. Most of the time it was just ponds.
Okay.
Ponds in central Georgia. And my grandfather on my mother's side, we went to the mountains in North Georgia and fished Burton and Rabun and Seed and the Tallulah River, and we used cane poles.
See, mine was when we would get out for spring break, my dad and a couple of guys he worked with, we would make a run. We would go down and fish Eufaula for 2 days.
Wow.
Down to Seminole and fish 2 days, and then Lake Jackson, and then head back home on Sunday. We leave on Friday night and then come back the following Sunday and fish those 3 lakes.
And how old were you at that time?
That probably started when I was teeing up to about the time I was about 14 or 15.
Don't you feel fortunate for all that?
Oh yeah, I mean, you see, my mom died when I was 4, and it's just been me and my dad. My dad never remarried, and I mean, when he moved, I moved. And didn't really have a choice because he didn't. I stayed a lot with my grandparents, but I was always with him, and more or less the mothers I had were, the wives of his best friends or whatever. They always kept an eye on me and, make sure I had, but, but that's who my dad is, is my main influence as far as the outdoors and everything.
Certainly. Well, what a great lineup. I'm flattered that I'm in a Orlando Wilson, Bill Dance, and O'Neill and your dad. That's fabulous.
But Tom Mann was one of the biggest influences because Mr. Tom, he died back in 2005. I got to spend a lot of time with him, especially when I was younger. And there's no man nicer and more willing to teach you anything about the outdoors. I mean, he was just one of those special people,
He was really a kind and gentle, but he was a big fella, too.
Oh, he was huge. Oh, yeah. He was a big man now.
Yeah, you bet.
But I remember, back that Tom and Tammy show, and but I hope you're doing all right. You got to get Miss Gail up to help you out this morning.
Yeah, she's on her way. It takes her a little while. Call left out there that I misjudged, but we want to get to that before we get to the radio prize package. So let's talk to Charles calling from Ocala, Florida. Good morning, Charles.
Good morning.
I'm sorry I fouled that one up. What do you want to talk about?
Lightning hitting water. And
yes.
If you're fishing or whatnot, like in an aluminum boat or a kayak, because I'm sure it hits the water, but how come you don't ever see fish float up if it's hitting the water?
I have never thought about that.
Well, you better think about it. You may be out in the water in an aluminum boat one day.
Well,
you better think about it.
Well, you know something? On some of the days that I've been fishing unsuccessfully, I wouldn't mind a lightning strike close by so I could get a few fish.
Yeah, but I just well, no idea at all, huh?
I don't know. I never heard of anyone's experience with that. I will tell you one time I did have a lightning strike close to my boat 20 years ago, more than that, but I was running down the lake at a high speed, and it hit next to me. And listen to this, Charlie, it turned off my engine.
Damn. Oh, ooh, goodness.
Scared me.
No, you think?
Yes, scared me. But I didn't notice any fish floating to the top. I almost did.
Yeah.
I don't know. Interesting question. Maybe somebody will tell us. I don't know. But maybe that lightning strike doesn't generate far enough into the water to hurt the fish. Who knows?
Better ask Mean Trilene or Tight Line and Sinker.
Yeah, that's something like that.
Remember them? That old crappie-a-thon?
Yeah.
And Orlando Wilson, he used to cheat because he had that lake over in Woodstock where he put all them big bass in to catch them for the TV show.
Right.
So I started to do that one. I'm from Milton, Georgia.
Uh-huh.
I don't like to say it, but anyway, I had me a lake up there, and I started to get onto the TV thing, but I couldn't find nobody that would film enough to do it. All they wanted to do was do like I do and fish.
That's right. Hey, listen, this television business is involved.
Well, I'm not. I'm 66 years old now, and that's behind me now.
Oh, I understand. Hey, listen, I'm 75 years old, and I wish it was behind me. But I tell you what, maybe one of those lightning strikes would have done me a favor.
Yeah, well, you come in there, and Ashley keep you on your toes down there, won't she?
Yeah, a little bit. Sure, you bet.
All right.
I've never been asked that question. Congratulations.
Well, let's see if we can get an answer on. Well,
Mighty
I can't
fine.
hear you. I'm on the telephone, so.
Okay.
Call me back and let me know.
All right, you keep listening. Okay. That's good. Mighty fine. All right, here we go. Now, before we get to the radio prize package question, let's talk to, hey, here's our old buddy Milton Crabapple. Good morning, Milton.
O'Neill?
Yes, sir.
Milton Crabapple.
Yeah, Milton. What do you say,
How you
buddy?
doing this morning?
I'm doing fine. I'm confused, but that's okay. I'm getting used to it.
Sometimes you get that way.
Indeed.
I was waiting on hold. I couldn't remember who I called.
I understand.
You know, that fellow was talking about all the TV show folks that had influence on him.
Yes. Good.
I'll tell you who had the biggest influence on me.
Okay.
My great-great-uncle Gadabout Crabapple. Yes, sir. He was all over the place.
He sure was.
He was a good one. He was on for years.
Oh,
And he caught some big fish.
I'll bet he Gadabout yeah.
You know, I want to give a little tip out this morning. if I
Okay,
could.
I'm sure it'll be valuable.
This is the most valuable time of the year to do your deer scouting.
Oh,
Right now, when the season's over with, you can still find them paw marks and them scrapes and all that stuff, but you ain't got to worry about spooking the deer because the season's over with.
Right.
Go out there and do all that trimming you need to do and all that stuff, and you can find them trails and you can find everything you need to tell you where the deer movement's because it's going to be in the exact same place again next year.
Oh, yeah, they'll do the same thing. They use the same trails and everything as the previous year, don't they?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Now, you know they made baiting deer legal this year.
Yes.
What do you think about putting out them corn feeders and stuff like that?
Well, the only thing I don't like about it is it keeps, if you do that, it keeps young people from learning how to be a hunter.
Well,
all they
guess
do
it
is just
does,
go out
maybe.
and sit next to the corn pile.
Well, it ain't much different than hunting on one of them food plots, is it?
Well, that too.
You know, the reason I was asking, me and Dude bought us a couple of them things.
Oh, you did?
You know, we don't get to hunt much. Just on the mornings on the weekend because we got to stay around the jail here, so hopefully it's going to make it a little easier to harvest the deer. But I'll tell you something, O'Neill. If I'd have known what it was like Them corn feeders, I never would have got one of the goddamn things.
Why?
It's too hard, too much trouble.
Oh.
Too much trouble. By the time I got that thing filled up, I was wore out.
Uh-oh.
You know, that thing holds might near 100 pounds of corn.
Oh, man.
You ever tried opening 237 cans of corn at one time?
Well, that'd be a chore.
I'm telling you something. I had carpal tunnel syndrome in both hands by the time I got through.
137 cans of corn.
Yes, sir.
Well, you know, using that method of filling up the corn feeders, I would imagine would be difficult.
Well, it was. We'll try it again next year, though.
Okay. Well, did you
Well,
have
I just wanted to touch in with you this morning.
Did you have a successful deer season this year, Milton?
Well, dude got a nice one. Missed another one with his bow, and I shot a nice deer, and you know, I never found that thing.
Oh, that's disappointing.
That always bothers me. I ain't never had that happen. That's about the third time I've had it happen in my whole life. I don't know what happened. He just disappeared.
Yeah, that's too bad. It's happened to me a few times. It's happened to everybody that hunts quite a bit. So
well, I reckon it has, but it always makes me feel bad to wound an animal and not be able to recover it.
That's exactly right. Well, Milton,
Yeah.
I'm glad you called.
Stop by the jail when you get over this way.
I'll do that. We'll finish that checker game one day.
Much obliged.
All right. I'll see you soon, my friend. It's always a pleasure to hear from Milton. Okay, here's the radio prize package at 47 after the hour. I've got time to handle this. The rules are you have to be 18 years old or older, and let's say this, you haven't won a radio prize package in 2 years, okay? If the first correct call, now we won't repeat the question, Jason Engineering there at WSB will not repeat the question. So, here's the radio prize package. A $10 Bojangles gift card, a Whitetail Institute DVD, Producing Trophy Whitetails. This is really good stuff. A voucher for some Swaggerty's Farm products, DNR Regs magazine, and a Game Check wallet. Wallet Keeper, Realtree hat and decal combo, an Angler magazine, 2 cans of Fisher's Choice, great bait to take a kid fishing, Bug Band wipes and a Bug Band wristband, a Thunder Chicken casting float from Mark Noble, a Thorogood hat, and a pair of Wigwam socks. We just added that. These are great socks. I solicited and got you some Wigwam socks. And then also a True Turn hat. And here is the question. We have always an addition to the program. Hank the Yank calls almost every week, and it's always a informative call. Where is he from? What city is where Hank the Yank? Where's he from? Okay. 49 after the hour. Let's see, what was I going to talk about? Two things. Number one, you want a hat, not like this one. This is an old hat. An O'Neill Outside hat, signed. You can visit Hayes dealership in Lawrenceville. Hayes, Dodge, Ram, Jeep, you know where it is. All you do is just park your car, walk in, say, I'd like to have a hat. Get one for yourself and one for your child or your grandchild. It'll last you a long time. It's a quality hat. It's not a piece of junk. And you can have a hat, and it's free. You don't have to buy anything. There's nobody going to try to sell you a car. Just get the hat. So, now, one of the features that we're going to, and Jason, I'm not getting the calls, so when you have a caller, let me know on the screen, okay? Okay, thank you. One of the things that we started some time ago, and we never fleshed it out very much, I thought it was kind of an interesting feature in the program because I like for you to learn something on the show. By listening to the program, if you can learn something, if some caller can make some recommendations And if you listen to the program, you'll know more. And if you know more, you have the potential of being a more successful outdoorsman. That's my opinion. So the more you know, the more you understand. So let me ask you. Let me look at this. All right. Tell me who this is. This fellow was raised in Tennessee. He planned to be a doctor. His father and his grandfather were doctors. But he changed his mind one time when he was a youngster in high school before he tried to go to college and medical school, and he came upon a motorcycle wreck, evidently a rather grisly one, and he didn't like the sight of all that blood, so he decided he would not be a doctor. But he turned to bass fishing instead. A local lure manufacturer sponsored a television show, recommended he be on a television show. Who is it? Call and let me know. There's no prize, but I think it's interesting to know the history of some of the people that are tournament anglers, that are on television shows and radio programs, and are famous outdoorsmen. If you know about them and their history, then indeed your knowledge will be expanded. And I'm sure we've got plenty of calls, but my screen doesn't let me know that. It's 52 after the hour. That's a little feature called Who Is This? And we'll do that, if I can keep the paper straight here, we'll do that every week. So you'll find out something every week about somebody. And the next weeks are very interesting. This coming week, Gail Williams and I go to the SHOT Show. Now, what is that? It's the Las Vegas Trade Show. It's okay. We do have a winner, and I'll get to that upon our return. We're going to the SHOT Show, the Shooting, Hunting, and Outdoor Sports Trade Show. And it's in Las Vegas. We'll be gone all week next week. We'll be back for the show, and we'll have an opportunity to look into more of the Who Is This and other things. Have you bought, before I go, have you taken a look at O'Neill's book? O'Neill Outside, People and Places Along the Way. You can get it at Amazon, and you can get it from o'neilloutside.com, and I will sign it personally for you. I'll personalize the signature and send it to you. Go to o'neilloutside.com and locate O'Neill Outside book. This is O'Neill. We'll get to the winner of the prize package when I return. 7 after the hour, you're listening to O'Neill Outside, and we're concluding the radio prize package. And the question was, our frequent caller that we enjoy so much, his name is Hank the Yank. And so we wanted to ask, the radio prize package question is, where was he born? Where is he from? And now let's talk to Richard, and calling from Roswell. Good morning, Richard.
Good morning.
And where in the world is this guy from?
Brooklyn, New York.
Isn't that something? He came down here and stayed. You know what we call those people, don't you?
Well.
Okay, never mind. Well, he's been here for 20 years, and he is a legitimate Southerner now. He just still talks funny.
Well, we're glad he's here. I'm a native Atlantan.
Yes.
And I enjoy listening to him. I really do.
I do, too. Very, very knowledgeable and dedicated to teaching people how to be an excellent fly fisherman. He is a fly guy, and he's kind and gentle, and he takes people fishing, and we love him, and his reports are absolutely fantastic. And you got it. So it was worth getting up this morning. Give us a couple of weeks to get your package to you, and thank you for participating in the program.
Thank you so much.
You bet.
Bye-bye.
You bet. Good day. Have a great weekend. There we go. So, but no one has answered yet. Who is the fellow that I talked about who was going to be a doctor but ended up being a tournament fisherman? Interesting to know about people like that. He saw a grisly motorcycle accident. His dad was a dad. His dad was a doctor, and his grandfather was a doctor, but he is not. Who am I talking about when I read that to you? 404-872-0750, 800-972-8255. We'll get to that and another hour of outdoors on O'Neill Outside when we get back for the second hour. Woman Williams will join us, and we'll have the Medal of Honor tribute among so many other things. This is O'Neill, and we'll be back after the news.